dropping. Feel the hum in your hands. This is 4D. Heat on my palms, grip locked, heart racing. Shoes hit the pedal, whole room shaking. Jersey on my back, hat pulled low, I'm blazing. Every turn I take, got the ghosts I'm chasing. 4D in my veins, feel that fire when I play, when I move, when I...
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the CSRL. I keep wanting to say GT series. I'm so used to saying GT, but this is the multi-class series, as tonight we are here for round number 6 at WeatherTech Laguna Seca. It's definitely a road course. It's definitely a well-known road course, certainly well-known for the famed corkscrew here at the top of the track. But this is going to be tough, I think, for multi-class racing here. It is not exactly a wide track to make any kind of passes. I mean, just in the LMP2s. The GT3s maybe, kind of a slower to the point where, you may be able to make some passes here, but it might be a little tough one here. Interclass and class-on-class action here, but we'll see how the drivers do out here tonight. Carl Ham, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, ready for a little Laguna Seca action here tonight?
Yeah, got some time here, not a whole heck of a lot, but it should be fun. And I never had a multi-class race here, so another added mix challenge for these drivers this week. Obviously, the challenges of altitude changes, the corkscrew, and everything that comes along with this track should put on some great racing, but I think more geared to survive and making smart choices and not putting your car in a situation to drive somebody off the track. And I know turn 1 is very guilty of that, as it's up and over and down the hill down into a nice and tight turn. So yeah, we're gonna see I think some good racing action here tonight between both fields, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Drivers heading for their pace lap right now. As you've seen, Dace Keeling on the pole here tonight with Craig Jancic on the outside. Rich Petrucco out there in action, and Devin Young. A lot of the drivers have shed their rookie standings, and they have moved into other classes. That's why you see Dace Keeling up there with the pro class, and quite a few others making their debuts in their actual classes. And it looks like the 40 back there of Jim Herrick. I know sometimes you go off track to cool the tires. I don't think that's a good idea to go through the kitty litter here tonight. But either way, it's time to go racing here at Laguna Seca. As the green flag drops, we are racing in the LMP2 class.
LMP2 class away, and they go, as waiting for the rest of the field to kind of get going here shortly. And my SDK is all jumbled up, so I'm not quite sure who's supposed to be where.
Yeah, trying to get trading pace going here too. It was giving me issues all day today when I was working around with it. But either way, we'll give it one more reload, see if that works. As you see the GT3s going down in there, the 979 is gonna get spun by the 53. Little aggression right there, and you see a lot of drivers really can't do much to avoid the spun Javi Sierra on this one, as he was your pole sitter here in the GT3 classes. No more. As let's take a look through the field. Looks like maybe now we just need to get the race started for the cars actually start showing up correctly. As we got some good looking paint schemes going on out there. Certainly, it's I think a well-known track here tonight. I think a lot of drivers probably have some type of experience here at Laguna Seca, whether it's here in iRacing, whether it's on really any kind of racing game you could probably think of, other than like a NASCAR game or something like that, because they don't go here. But IndyCar games, the IndyCar has gone here. I don't know if they still go here or not, but big move right there, as you see Chris Hamilton getting worked on right there by Michael Montagna. But hey, I mean, you see the camera jump all over the place because there's action all over the place right now. We'll take a look at the front. It is Dace Keeling leading the way here in the LMP2 class as it stands, and we'll get you the current standings up there and the track map as He leads over Rich Petrucco. Greg Jancic has been shuffled back down to third. Over in the GT3 class, it is Ryan Merriam in first. I don't know why it's showing second place. I guess I gotta make sure that Jordan Fox is correctly in there as an LMP2 rookie, not a GT3 rookie. But either way, I think a pretty good start here, Jimmy, other than the turn one incident down the hairpin.
Yeah, I mean, that's just you kind of expected. Like I said, I said it before they got underway. You know, that long straightaway down on turn one, and one of the premier spots to play chicken. I guess that's the other way to call it. Play chicken. Who's better on the brakes? But it does look like newcomer Ryan out front here with the GT3 is being followed by Ricky Renner and that Porsche, and followed by Chris Hamilton, or Kyle Kobler, and Chris Hamilton, Michael Antania back in P number 5 for your GT3s, and then up front leading the LMP2s. It's going to be Dace Keeling, Rich Petrucco, Craig Jancic, Devin Young, and Bryce Reiner. Yeah. For your top cars in your LMP2 class. So you see pretty quickly the field kind of stretching out. Them Skittles on the track map are just kind of stretching. And it won't be long before the LMP2s catch up to the GT3s. And then it's going to be interesting because you're going to have faster cars wanting to get around slower cars, but you know, GT3s are only kind of slow, like mid straightaway, you know, not getting into the corner, not exiting the corner. They're almost equal. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how the drivers kind of work with each other to alleviate time loss and incidents.
Well, that's the thing. There's really not that many straightaways. I mean, you know, you have the front stretch, which, you know, has a little kink right by the start-finish line, so kind of an extended straightaway till you get to the hairpin. He got some passing opportunities, but really no place where the LMP2s can, you know, really wind it out and get a good run. So you really need to, you know, to keep close on the entry to the GT3s if you're an LMP2, and really focus on that exit, get a good run out the exit, so you can maybe not send it up the inside on the next corner, but, you know, let the GT3 know, like, hey, I'm faster, I'm getting ready to go by, and I'm sure these LMP2 drivers will be working the lights here tonight for sure.
Yeah, they try. Sometimes it's hard to, you know, when you're so focused on hitting your marks, and some of these corners can be pretty tough. The GT3 trying to make sure you hit the apex, and then now you got another car kind of gonna throw you off. And it's not somebody racing you for position; it's somebody that's gonna try to get around you. So you gotta watch your relative and be predictable when you can't facilitate or help the pass for these drivers. But yeah, Ryan doing a fantastic job kind of running away here at the moment, and doing a fantastic job in the Ferrari. It's been a while since we've seen a Ferrari take the field and kind of come out here and stomp the field, I guess.
I heard tires screeching. I was trying to find out what happened there. It looked like it was Tyler Torville. They went for a bit of a spin here, and yeah, this is a place where you cannot go too wide, and tries to go too wide there with the 11 of Christian Ortiz Torres, and gets punted off the track. Not sure if he didn't realize the 11 was there or what the case was, but Jimmy, that little kick is not much of a corner. You get through it pretty quickly, but I'll tell you what, there's 10 different ways that you can take that thing wrong, and it's really just the 11th way that when you bingo it that one time, it feels phenomenal. I'm like, oh my God, why can't I do that every single lap? There's so many different ways that you can screw up that corner. You take it a little bit too early, you're going to hit that sausage curb, you're going to go flying off the track. You take it a little bit too late with a little too much speed, you're going to go flying off the track. It's such a tough little corner, and it's one of the smallest corners here on the track.
Yeah, it can be tricky, and to kind of hit it each and every lap. They're going to be out here for 45 minutes here tonight, obviously, like they are each and every week. There will be a pit stop sometime, probably around the 20 to 25 minute mark, somewhere in there, for these drivers, and maybe a few, you know, are not going to make that. It does look like we have a few drivers dropping out Looks like Herrick, Sierra, and Hutchison not in the race.
Now Stefan Bryce just getting involved in an incident here. Try to take a look and see what happened here as he had some GT or LMP2s hounding him down. Just gets a little bit hot into the corner. Sends it off the track, and oh yeah, easy as you like it right there. The LMP2s splitting him on the left and the right, and somehow they avoid the incident right there. But watching a couple good battles right here. One of the battles is right here, battling for 6th and 7th position overall in the GT3 class, and that is with Michael Antania right here. In front of him is Tyler Torville, Kyle Kolber right in front of him, and right in front of him is even Chris Hamilton. So 3rd back to 7th right here on your screen. And I mean, really, the GT3s haven't spread out that much. Really close battling throughout the GT3 field. Back half of the LMP2 field, you can kind of say the same thing. They're still pretty close with a lot of them. You can get some drafting, down these straightaways, but I'm honestly kind of surprised that we're not seeing more breakaways. More places where these cars are kind of spread out. And not saying that there's, there shouldn't be any, battles out there, but I'm kind of surprised of how many groups are all kind of sticking together out there with this. It's a technical track. It's not, it is a purpose-built track. It's not a street course. Luckily, we do get a few American tracks on the schedule that are not street courses. We will have one more street course with Belle Isle, the second last race of the season, but this is pretty much as technical as a street course.
Yeah, it's you got to hit them corners. I remember doing my first laps here on iRacing, because obviously it's like
It's a starter track,
pretty much on,
yeah,
like in every game. But getting out here, and like only racing the Miatas was, we were looking at 3 wide back there with going on Kyle Kobler, anyways, they it's unique. So you're kind of familiar with the kind of the layout, but each of these cars are a little bit different in the way they handle, and you hit a curve the wrong way, and then Carl talked about going through a couple corners, like differently at many different occasions, even if it's small. Just everything is out there. You're probably leaving time on the table. They're running. Like 121s, I think, was their best somewhere down there, and 116, I think, for the LMP2s. So only a 5-second difference, but I mean, it does add up after the laps, and I'm sure it won't be long before we see the drivers entangled in, with each other, and it's just going to make it that much harder for the GT3 series.
I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in tonight. If you haven't done so already, then like, subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, and make Jimmy happy. He loves them thumbs up. We don't have a doubleheader tonight. The doubleheaders for Wednesdays will be put on hold for a little bit, as Big Road Speed Limit Racing Series has ended this past week with their championship race, and a good one that it was at Homestead at Miami, and we are going to see them start up in maybe about a month's time before we kick it back off here, and they've already discussed with us that they want us back on board, as well they should, Jimmy. I mean, yeah, regardless of how we do out there, we have some fans out there as well. There's not just fans of the other drivers. There's fans of CRN out there as well. So I want to thank everybody out there for doing so. But we will have the doubleheader on Thursday night with VVR and the Core GT series as well. But right here is, man, you see the 007 trying to get it woed up into the corkscrew. Didn't exactly work out too well, but somehow he saved it. Oh man, it looked like, not sure who that was. Was that Stefan Price going off track there again? Base Keeling still leading the way, but not by much. You see it right here. Getting through this lap traffic has not been easy for the leader. And you see him coming up on some more traffic. Craig Jancic looking to the outside, trying to harass him now. Cut back to the inside, and Jancic's going to have to stay in line. You see the 97 there harassing the 6 as much as possible with those lights. And all the way down into the hairpin here, as that got tight real quick.
Yeah, it could be, like I said, tricky, and it's even with a pretty decent grip with the GT3s, there's times where you're trying to go as fast as you can, and you can't get it to turn tighter, or you don't want to get out there in that loose gravel. So it's we talked about it. It's happening, and the drivers just need to be smart, on the choices they make. And when you're second place chasing the leader down, you're trying not to wait for the slower driver to make a decision. So hold your line. That's all I can. That's about the best advice you can give somebody, is just hold your line, drive the driving line, and just let them pass you when they get their nose and it's like you're too wide, or driver to the left, and then you just let up on the gas just a little bit, ever so slightly, and allows that LMP2 to go by, and you lose a fraction of a second and get back to what you were doing.
Yeah, and it's, as a second place driver, you're looking for any kind of passing opportunity you can get, and sometimes that's a late move that you see because all of a sudden the LMP2 in front of you has to check up real quick for the lap car, and all of a sudden that that passing opportunity just randomly opens right up, and you got to be ready to take it immediately. And sometimes the leader is looking to make a late move on that GT3 car, on that lap car, to try and finally get past and avoid the issue that he's been dealing with, and that's where contact can happen. And I would not be surprised if we see some top runners here tonight have some issues getting around some of this lap traffic. You see, it's not that wide of a track. I mean, you can squeeze probably 3 cars together here, so you see a chance of losing a little bit of ground here. Doesn't matter. Those lights are flashing. Maybe you left his 4-ways on, Jimmy? Maybe that's why.
Yeah, the 4-ways are on and just clicking away. I can only drives me crazy in the truck. I couldn't alone being in a race car with the 4-ways going for a long part of time. But the 97 getting involved, it's gonna end up slowing them down.
Yeah, falling back here a little bit. 2.5 seconds. We'll try and take a look and see what happened. I don't see any incident here that I can go back to, but losing quite a bit of ground here, and now he's going to have to make it back up, but I would not doubt that he does. It's plenty busy out there. It's as best as I can put it. I know you see kind of half of the track there is kind of wide open with the 777 of Ryan Merriam. He is loving life right now. He has got a 6, almost 7-second lead over the field, and he's probably got about maybe 10, 15 seconds in front of him. That there's nobody, actually 12 seconds in front of him to the back half of the LMP2 class right now. So he is all by himself out there, just kind of just running practice laps, running test session laps. But I'm sure he doesn't mind at all as he got a good start here, and he is leading the way in the GT3 series. He is still denoted as a rookie, but with a performance like this, I'm sure the pro class is going to be calling here pretty soon. As you see on the screen there, only one LMP2 rookie left out there, and that's Jordan Fox, and we'll see where he kind of shakes out right now. Looking to be LMP2 AM class, and then we have the 5 drivers there in the GT3 class. There's actually one more, John Newman, running at 44th right now. Last car actually out there clicking off laps as we lost Stephen Price, Jim Herrick, Javi Sierra, and Anthony Hutchinson early on here. Not sure again what happened to Hutchinson. We did see the issues there with Javi Sierra getting turned in turn number 1, and maybe Hutchinson got involved in that incident, as well as it was just kind of a parking lot and in the hairpin in turn number 1. But either way, out front in the LMP2 class, Dace Keeling leads it by 3.5 seconds over Craig Jancic, who's got a 3.5 second lead over Rich Petrucco. Apologize. Then in the GT3 class, it's Ryan Merriam leading by 7.5 seconds over Ricky Renner, who's got a 3.5 second buffer over Chris Hamilton. So, Jimmy, it took a little bit, but I'm starting to see a lot of white numbers up there, meaning that the battles are starting to subside, the field's starting to spread out. Certainly can't say the same for these 3 right here, though, as we got a 3-car battle, almost 3 wide here going into turn number 5.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's starting to spread out, but there is a couple pockets still remaining throughout the field, and some of those are up there with the LMP2s. as it does look like Craig Jancic he's in the pits. Seen him falling fast. I was like, what's up?
Yeah, maybe an early pit stop here to kind of shake it up and maybe try and get back out there. But, man, with a track as busy as this, I don't know when a good pit stop is. I mean, if you can pit and get yourself into that buffer zone where that 777 is and run some clean laps, you'd be loving life for sure. But there's not much clear real estate on this track right now, as those Skittles have poured all over the place. And the 19 going wide there just after Tyler Torville had a little bit of an off at the kink. John Espada blows the last corner, and Torville gets on by him here. But that it was Tyler Torville. Todd Torville is up here in 5th place in the GT3 AM class. The GT3 AM class leader, Cesar Clone Torres, has got a pretty sizable gap over Christian Ortiz Torres right now, about 14 seconds from first in the AM class to second. But, I mean, for the most part, the field spreading out in the GT3s. The LMP2s are now the ones that have a few pockets here and there. As we're past a third of the way through this field, coming up on 20 minutes in. So far, so good for a majority of the field. And honestly, Jimmy, I got to give it to him. The fact that there's still, I mean, we started with 48 cars. The fact that there's still 43 cars out there and not under 40 by now, I mean, hats off to him.
Yeah, it's a tough track. You know, with the multi-class kind of splitting up, the field is pretty much 50-50 right now. And it has been from the start. Another week with 40-plus drivers, so again, congratulations to CSRL. Things seem to be running okay. They've had some tougher races and, you know, maybe more incidents when they were a little bit smaller. But you know, it kind of comes with the territory. More people on the track, more people that can make mistakes, let alone make mistakes in front of some drivers that are used to running at each other. But here we are. We are 19 minutes in. You have Dave Keeling as your leader and Ryan Merriam for your GT3.
Yeah, we'll hop on board here with Dave Keeling as he's about to come across the start-finish line here to start another lap and take you on board with the LMP2 around Laguna Seca. And you can see he's got some traffic coming up ahead of him. He just ran a fast lap of the race at 1:16.45. He's now got a 10.6 second lead over Rich Petrucco since Greg Jancic came in and made an early pit stop. But you see the GT3 drivers moving around here, trying to, you know, lap cars trying to let everybody else go by, and now Dave Keeling going around to the inside. You see how, you know, how much grip these LMP2s have, how much downforce they have going into these corners, and it's a funky feeling. And now we're gonna go 3 wide into the kink. I had to slow up a little bit more there to make sure he made the corner, but he does so. And now he's gonna head up to the famed corkscrew section. You get to basically the top of the mountain, and then you corkscrew on down right here. Big drop down there. You see already turning to the right before you even kind of hit that drop off, and then down through a long sweeping left-hand turn. Get it all the way over to the left to set up for the right-hand penultimate corner, and then same thing all the way over to the right. Hit your braking spot and head through one of the slowest corners on the track, the final corner. Use up the exit there, and that is a lap around Laguna Seca. We'll try and take a look at what it looks like now from the GT3 side, and you'll see it's a little bit slower, but really not by much. I mean, about 4 seconds difference over a lap here between the fastest laps of the LMP2s and the GT3s. Just a little bit, you know, less grip through the corner, a little bit less downforce. The speed itself probably equal. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, you know, kind of what the average speed is here for these cars, because I don't think it's, you know, that much faster, you know, on the straightaways. I think it's more that the LMP2's getting through these corners a little bit better with the downforce. But to me, this is right here what I talk about, the toughest part of the track. It's only a little bit of a Sasha, then inside a little bit of a blip. I guess maybe not even a Sasha. I guess it's that small, Jimmy. Maybe it's a hot dog out there, but you don't want to hit the hot dog, because it will throw you way out to the kitty litter. And you see Miriam going down through the corkscrew and now heading through the final corners of the lap to complete his lap here at Laguna Seca. And you see, excuse me, breathing fresh air here. Doesn't sound like I am right now. I'm under the weather here a little bit, so I apologize. But A good clean lap there for the 777. He's got nobody around him. 14 seconds in front of him is the last spot in the LMP2s, and 11 seconds behind him is second place in the GT3s. So certainly just having a nice chill day out there right now. But good job here by the drivers. We are halfway through the race. Jimmy, I think it's time we kick it over and give everyone in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
A little to hear it.
sights and sounds from the Casual Sim Racers League as they are tackling Laguna Seca here, and you see some real tight action here. As you know, it's one thing we haven't really talked about yet. We talk about the speed. We talk about how the LMP2's going to make passes due to speed, because the speed is roughly about the same. We won't really talk about that much is the braking itself. The braking in the LMP2's not as good as GT3s, and you've seen it right there on full form. As you've seen the top of the corkscrew right there, it didn't work out too well for I believe that was Devin Young, getting a little bump from behind by Colon Torres, and it's what can happen, because if a GT or an LP2 makes a pass and then wants to jump over into the the quote-unquote racing line late, you're taking a chance, because as soon as you jump into that racing line, the GT3 is going to start braking, because you're going to start braking, and that's not their normal braking spot. And all of a sudden, their braking spot is going to involve your rear end. So you got to be really smart about it.
Yeah, GT3s can get into the corners actually better because they have ABS and all that fun stuff, and what's what makes it challenging for the LMP2 to kind of dive into the corners late. I mean, the GT3's got to almost give them the corner altogether, and or wait. So what I like to do when I'm driving the LMP2 is when I'm coming up and I know that I need to pass somebody, if I can't clearly get alongside of them before the corner, I'll end up I lift and let my car coast, and the GT3 kind of get into the corner really far, and then a nice easy entry, and then I'm on the throttle earlier, so usually by the time they start getting on the gas, I'm already in the gas, and so it takes a little less time to get alongside the GT3s. But I think tonight doing a pretty decent job out here, running around, getting things done. I do see Dace Keeling still out front over Craig Jancic and Bryce Reiner. Rich Pachuco falls back to P4. And your leader here for the GT3s is Ryan Marion, with Ricky Renner in second, Christopher Hamilton third. Overall.
When we get a chance, I want to thank all our sponsors out here for the series. 40 Racewear, Martin PC, Chandelure Leather Company, Sim Gaming Expo, Ace Motorsports, and Digital Sim Sports for everything that they do, as well as Chris Burrell putting up the Hard Charger Sandbagger Award winner. And I guess we got plenty of sand here tonight, Jim. We got I guess we need to substitute for kitty litter, but there's plenty out here, as there's no grass to be found out here at Laguna Seca.
I see some bunch of drivers, missing the last turn is a big one, or messing up the turn one has been pretty big. Just running wide and trying to get around there. It's kind of amazing how slow you kind of need to hit turn number one, and then kind of easily get through turn numbers 2 and 3 as kind of S's around. So, and then you're all in it, going up the hill there, and then you get to the corkscrew, and it's not an abrupt stop, but it's a unique and almost a feeling, and you're trying to find that marker and where to turn when the hill's going down. So it's almost blind, but you just have to know it's there and know how the car handles.
Check out the drone cam up here at the top of the corkscrew, and tell you what, from overhead, just looks like a nice little S turn. Doesn't look like really anything to do. But once you get down to level with these guards, you can see how much just elevation drop it is. It is just unreal how much it drops in there, and that was a bit of a bite of the sausage right there from Ian Southern. Now you see Cameron Burke trying to work and get back around, I should say, but it's not able to do so. Right there is one of the battles out here on the track right now. Another battle right here. We'll do a better camera views are side by side through turn number 5. This is Christian Ortiz Torres and Tyler Torville battling for second and third. Actually, no, sorry, that's Christian Ortiz Torres and Rahul Colin, as they're battling for Christian Ortiz Torres is second in the AM class, as now LMP2 Devin Young comes into play, and you see just how tight and how tentative these drivers need to be around each other. I gotta say, Jimmy, they're giving each other plenty of room. I think they're doing a really good job with the the amount of track that they have to work with, which isn't much.
Yeah, it's pretty tight quarters for these drivers here, and LMP2 is trying to use some of the slower cars maybe to their advantage for keeping another LMP2 behind them, or being able to pull away, or it could be the reverse. I usually have the tendency to get bad luck, Carl. Always hit that GT3 in the wrong corner, and you lose probably the most time you possibly could on a track with some of the corners that when you approach them like that. But here at CSRL, I mean, the drivers have been pretty good. I mean, that's why they keep coming back each and every week, putting up them 40+ numbers, closing in on that 50, it's the that would be their max field. I mean, they're starting with 48 cars. We have 5 out, 3 LMP2s and 2 GT3s. So a couple black flags out there, and I'm gonna go with that's probably them hitting their incident limit here tonight. Does it this track typically?
I can have it very easily. Oh yeah, I can have it very easily here. I just kind of squirrel myself here as looking around at these different cars, and I don't think we see this. We've seen some crazy paint schemes before. We've seen some that may disturb some people. We've seen Fords get painted with the Dale Earnhardt paint scheme, or we've seen Chevys get painted with a Jeff Gordon paint scheme. But I don't know, and I know we've seen other cars painted like it, but I don't think we have ever seen a Ferrari painted like the Bandit. That looks like that's what it is here on Kyle Kobler's car, trying to get the rear chase.
That's like something John Nobinger would do.
Exactly. But yeah, there you go. The Bandit is out there and running pretty well up there in 3rd in the Pro class right now, and 4th overall in the GT3 class. But the Bandit is out there. I think the only thing that John Nominger has on the car, other than Kyle Kobler here, is he's got the license plate. He's got the Band 1 on his paint scheme. This one just got Bandit on the back. But either way, good looking paint scheme out there for Kobler.
Yeah, I like how people's creativity and bring something that was maybe they enjoyed when they were growing up, and then put it on a car. We see teams running same colors and different makes. It's amazing what the drivers do to look good out there for the fans, and along with putting on a great show here at CRN. So. But this thing's starting to wind down, Carl. We're down to the final 3 minutes, so you may be looking at 2.5 to 3 laps, depending on where the leader is on the track. And Dace Keeling is leading that way. He's got a nice little lead over Craig Jancic right now, about 10 seconds. So Dace doing a fantastic job this season, as long as he can stay out of trouble. He's quick. We seen him get in trouble last week and fall back, and then at the end as well. But they have to deal with traffic. That's part of this multi-class racing. It's not always about being the fastest car. It's about being able to take care of your car and get through traffic and get to the end and not ruin your own race, or anybody else's for that matter. So, but. The leader right now is Dace over Craig Jancic for your LMP2, Ryan Merriam, and with Ricky Renner for your top 2 over there in the GT3.
Once again, I want to thank everybody out there for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer as we do wind down here. Dace Keeling goes into the corkscrew here once again, and should be seeing that white flag coming up in just a few laps as he's buzzing around here, putting a great pace on. About 10-second lead over Craig Jancic, Rich Petrucco, Bryce Reiner, and Devin Young for your top 5. Down over in the GT3 class, it is Ryan Merriam, the rookie, leading the way here by only 5.5 seconds now over Ricky Renner, Chris Hamilton, Kyle Kobler, and Jason Phillips for your top 5. I had a couple of LMP2s mixed up in there, so I don't want to call them out. But a great race here for Miriam, and it looks like for the most part, your top 5s right now look to be all set and locked. There's a couple little pockets still out there battling. You got Glenn Lazan and Braxton Jarrett right here, still going to battle for 9th and 10th overall before this thing ends. But keep an eye on Dace Keeling this time by, going up there out of turn number 5, heading into the kink of turn number 6 one more time, and I think should be seeing the white flag this next time by as he heads up to the corkscrew. And just got to keep it kind of tidy for these last couple laps, and just not make any mistakes, as he's been pretty flawless this season. Only last week that we can kind of point to that he had the issues, but even last week did a heck of a job fighting back through to have a great finish. And he's going to come out of the final corner. We'll hop on board, see if we can get some confirmation from Barney if he's awake up there. Indeed, he is. White flag in the air. One more lap to go here at Laguna Seca as Dace Keeling starts off on the final trek around the track here. You see Craig Jancic back here. He's only got, 4 seconds back to Rich Petrucco. So Petrucco, now coming across the line, has had a pretty good race, in my opinion, and good to see him back out there on the track in the 27 as he's looking to maybe grab himself a podium here tonight. And Bryce Reiner is going to be relegated back to 4th place. One thing we didn't talk about coming into tonight is the point standings. And excuse me, taking a look at the point standings coming in. Bryce Reiner with an 11-point lead over Dace Keeling. And then Craig Jancic in 3rd in the pro class of the LMP2s. In the AM class, Paul Smith leading by a little over, 33 points over Jim Herrick and then Bill Burrell. In the GT3 pros, it is Chris Hamilton on top of the boards by 18 points over Tyler Torville, Noah Bourgeois, your top 3. In the AM class, it is Christian Ortiz-Torres by nearly 100 points over Cesar Colon Torres, and then Steve McLean for your top 3 in the AM class. But, excuse me, it is time to see the checkered flag here tonight, as there it is, waving is Barney. Dace Keeling gets the win here tonight. Great run for the 6. Definitely had to fight off some charges there from Craig Jancic, especially with the early lap cars getting involved, but this is going to be another win for the 6 here on the night. Looks like Braxton Jarrett going to come home with the top spot in the AM class, and a great job by him. 30 seconds in between 1st and 2nd in the AM class, so even kind of bigger margin that you can look at there for Braxton. Ryan Merriam coming through the final corners here, and he is going to he's now coming through turn number 5, so I believe he is done already.
Yes.
Or did he just get in front? Oh, yeah, he is done. So Ryan Merriam going to be your winner here in the GT3 class. Ricky Renner coming across already, was able to win the pro class over Chris Hamilton. Then you got not Jason Potts, it is Cesar Colon Torres going to come home with the top spot here, as we've seen him go through the kitty litter a couple times, especially up there in the corkscrew, but doesn't matter. He comes home with the top spot in the AM class here tonight. We will get our top drivers in here, as well as your hard charger here tonight, which looks to be Marco Chacon, up 13 spots in the number 31 as he finished in 5th place. So we'll see if we can get a chance to talk to Marco here tonight. But Jimmy, I think it went pretty well here for the drivers. We'll take a look at the results when we get everybody in here for their interviews.
Yeah, I was trying to fish this out, see if my SDK wants to play with me tonight. Empty race show. All right, your finishing order here for your LMP2s is going to be Dace Keeling, Craig Jancic, Rich Petrucco, Bryce Reiner, Marcus Chacon, Trent Blaylock, Devin Young, Jim Dutton, Glenn Lazan, and Braxton Jarrett for your top 10. And then you have Avery Pedley, Paul Bailey, Brandon Potts, Rena Dilemma, Jason Potts, and then you have Bill Burrell, Paul Smith, and Jordan Fox for your LMP2s. For your GT3s, overall, we'll have Ryan Merriam with Ricky Renner and then Christopher Hamilton. For your top 3, then you have Kyle Kobler in 4th. 5th is Jason Phillips. 6th, Michael Antania. 7th, Tyler Torville. 8th is Greg Conaway. 9th is Cesar Colon Torres. Stephen McLean in next. And then you have... Yes, I said Greg Conaway, Cesar Colon. Yeah, so Stephen McLean, and then Christian Ortiz, Roll Colin, Todd Torville, Ian Southern, Stephen Luttrell, John Espada, Ryan Luna, Cameron Burke, Michael Schwartz, Logan Brame, and still more. John Newman, Jay Little, Frank Pisano, Ian Wilson, Stefan Price, and then Javi Sierra having a rough start to the race, finishing in the last spot for the GT3s.
Well, let's go ahead and start bringing in our top spots here tonight, and we're gonna just kind of mix it up here a little bit, and we'll start with our first place finisher overall. It's gonna go to Dace Keeling in the 6th. Dace, a pretty convincing run for you if you look at the time split between you and Craig there at the end. But I'll tell you what, midway through the race, it was anything but. As you guys were working your way through the lap traffic, it was tight, and there were some moves being made, and I'm sure your mirror was full of some flashing lights for quite some time.
Yeah, for sure. Felt like I had a good gap, and then just kind of had some bad luck from where I hit traffic at, and then going through the corkscrew one lap, I had just thought I was going to get hit and went wide. So by the time I was trying to gain up speed, I saw a flying Craig in my mirror. But I wasn't. I know he flashed his lights after that for a while, but I wasn't trying to block him there. I was just trying to get my speed back up from going off the track there.
So clearly the biggest threat here tonight. I mean, the track is not the hardest, but it's definitely not the easiest out here. If you're out there by yourself, but working your way through lap traffic here tonight, I mean, it had to be a nightmare. I mean, plain and simple, because you guys are harder on the brakes entering the corners, so it's hard to make a late pass and then get over in your line, because you can get slammed from behind, and you really don't have that many straightaways to kind of open it up to try and get a good run on somebody either.
So yeah, I mean, what I noticed more was trying to check up a little bit early and just try and carry as much speed as you can to get them on the exit. Was kind of the best way I found to do it. It's a little bit harder than that when you have Craig filling up your mirrors. You have to be a little more aggressive, but once I had the gap, I kind of went into like endurance mode, where I was just being very patient, making sure I had the move done, and there's just no reason to rush it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the time where Craig can figure out how to make one of those lights red and one of them blue. So maybe he confuses you, thinking you're getting pulled over by the cops or something like that. That you got to pull over to the side of the road and let him by. But he certainly likes using those lights. But it didn't deter you at all here tonight. You end up walking away after you get through some of those lap cars, and you get yourself a W here tonight. So congrats on the win. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Just shout out CSRL. Enjoyed racing, and glad I finally got a win with, a pretty clean race, where I feel like I haven't really had much this season. So just glad to get it done.
Well, it worked out nice here for you tonight. We'll see if that's enough to get you to the top of the points, with Reiner finishing back there in 4th. But either way, take some time to celebrate this one. We'll see you out there next week.
Thanks, guys.
That's your overall winner, and the LMP2 class pro as well. Going to go to the 6 of Dace Keeling. Top spot in the LMP2 AM class is going to go to the 88 of Braxton Jarrett.
Hey, Braxton, Jimmy and Carl up in the booth. Do you copy?
Yes, sir.
Obviously, a familiar track for many racers, as it's very popular over pretty much every platform, every sim and arcade version of driving. And obviously, you did well here tonight. Give us a rundown of how your race was, man, and how was it out there with all the traffic and tight corners?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be pretty tough and be very difficult to navigate traffic, but it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Everybody kind of spread out. Everybody was very respectful. I just kind of followed behind the cars till I had an opportunity to pass, and it ended up working out.
Yeah, it's nothing better when a plan kind of falls together and the drivers kind of work with each other, and it's kind of what everybody should do during multi-class racing, because if you kind of push an issue early, or try to pass at the wrong time, can end up taking yourself out, and or even the other driver. But you didn't do that here tonight. You get yourself a great finish. So we wanted to recognize that up here in the booth. Say congratulations and give you some time for some shout outs on that car.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate y'all, doing the broadcast. I want to give a shout out to all my teammates, Trent, Anthony, Bevan, Steven, maybe somebody I'm missing, but just want to shout out my teammates. We all help each other get faster and work together doing this stuff. So
Again, congratulations on your finish here tonight and we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir.
That is driver of the 88s, Braxton Jarrett, as he is your top finisher in the LMP2 AM class here tonight. Top finisher in the GT3s overall goes to the rookie 777 of Ryan Merriam. Ryan, you had a fast Ferrari out there here tonight. It looks like, based on the amount of Ferraris out there, kind of the pick for the track here tonight.
Hey guys, yeah, I haven't driven it all that much, but after the update, I saw it got some love, and I used it in an official, and it performed well, so I thought I'd give it a shot.
So we just got done
was,
talking to the LMP2 class, and we're asking them how the traffic was getting around you guys. How was it the other side? How was it? I'm sure you didn't have too much of it. I mean, for most of the race, you were kind of the lone dot on the on the track map. You got about 12 seconds in front of you, about 12 seconds behind you. So you're just out there, just kind of running your own race.
Yeah, I think there was like over 20 LMP2s. It does not feel like I saw that many past me. It was pretty mellow, I'd say. I was a little worried about it on this track especially, but I guess the speed difference isn't big enough to really get them around that quick. And everybody I came across was fair, the normal stuff. A little bit of just, work with them, they work with you, and everybody gets by okay.
Well, it worked out pretty nice for you here tonight. You get the win here at Laguna Seca. So congrats on your win. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Thanks. I'll give a shout out to Ricky Renner. He invited me to this league, and seems like a great group of guys, and I'm looking forward to racing more here.
That's good you come out here and stomp him in the first race as well, and put him back there in his
It
place.
won't always be like that.
All right, well, congrats on the win here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll talk to Ricky and get his side of the view up here next. But either way, we'll hopefully see you out there next week.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll try to be here, guys. Thanks a lot.
That is your GT3 overall winner, the 777 of Ryan Merriam. Now we will not bring in Ricky Renner as... Was
okay.
it? Does he not? Did I not tag him? Or no, he was tagged. He just maybe he's a little perturbed that he got beat. He brought in a guy and the guy beat him. So yeah, it happens. It happens. But either way, we'll talk to our GT3 AM class winner, and that's going to go to the 777 of Cesar Colon Torres.
Hey, Cesar, Jimmy, and Carl. Hey, welcome to the booth here, man. And obviously, get yourself another great finish here tonight at a very popular track, like I was saying to the other drivers. And, it's a track that I know many of us have been to, and typically not a multi-class track, but give us a little rundown on how it was out there, getting passed by a faster car and have to kind of defend your spot here for the evening.
It was a good time. I really hate this track. This is one of my least favorite tracks on any service every single time, but something happened tonight where it started clicking for me and it felt kind of good. The traffic was kind of scary, but manageable. It wasn't too bad. Super good time, honestly. So not a lot of complaints, just that this track sucks.
I don't blame you. I'm not a huge fan myself. Been here a few times. Hopefully it gets you in the mood or the mode for a upcoming 24-hour event this weekend you're participating.
No, I'm actually going on a small vacation this weekend. Woo woo!
Well, enjoy the vacation for sure. But Anyways, we wanted to recognize you running here good tonight and tell you congratulations, and also give you a little bit of time for shots for having that car.
Thanks, man. Shout out to my girlfriend for one. Shout out to Black Satin Racing, the whole team. You guys, super fun time. And CSRL, you guys are always awesome. DHRL for the Sunday League, got to shout them out because they always keep me getting faster every week too. And then you guys in the booth, thank you every week. You guys always kill it, man.
We really appreciate the shout outs as normal. And again, congratulations. But we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
That is driver of the 007, Cesar Colon Torres, as he gets the win in the AM class here tonight. I guess he finally either just realized his name was tagged, or maybe he's like, well, they're already making fun of me. I might as well just go in there and take my shots. Ricky Renner, second place here tonight. You bring in a guy, and he stomps you in the first race. I don't know what you had to say about that. I mean, you come home with the pro class win here, but it's to a rookie. To a rookie. I mean,
Well, look.
what are your thoughts?
Well, you see, what happened was, all right,
What happened?
is I invited him. I wanted him to stick around,
Oh,
and I knew
okay.
that he was technically a rookie. So I was like, let's just win my class. We'll give him a feel-good moment so he comes back next week.
Gotcha. So we need to talk to Jim Dutton and make sure he knows you're doing everything you can to recruit some more drivers here.
Exactly, exactly.
Right. That
No,
had to be what it was. Yeah.
I race with Ryan on Sunday nights, and I just knew, like, me and him always battle on Sundays, and it's usually super close. Sometimes he gets me, sometimes I get him. It's a lot like me and Mason on Thursday nights. And I was like, it'd just be another great person to add to the mix. And then he shows up tonight and absolutely smashed us. So I would like to say that that's a little out of the ordinary. It's usually a little bit closer there, but he was on another level tonight. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was it certainly made it a lot easier. The fact that this is a tight track. I mean, it's I'm sure it was extremely tough for any kind of LMP2s passing the GT3s situation. But even in class, I mean, it's hard to set up a pass and actually execute a pass here and riding close to people and everything like that. He kind of had half the race where it was about 10 seconds, 12 seconds in front of him and the same behind him. He was out there just, kind of running hot laps the entire time. So I know the gap looked like it was massive, but when you don't have anybody else to worry about and it's just you and you lock in, it makes it a little bit easier if you could take anything away from that. But either way,
Yeah.
like you said, you get the best of Chris Hamilton and Kyle Kobler and some of the others out here. You didn't have to deal with Noah out here tonight, but either way, you get yourself a top spot here in the pro class. So before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast. Jim and everybody for putting on an awesome series. Everybody for showing up for it. But the whole simraces.com crew, Schwartz was out there. We recruited another guy for the league, so that's awesome. And I just hope that we can get some more of the guys out here to join us on Wednesday nights also. I know we stayed pretty busy with other leagues and stuff, but if we're gonna be on driving, why not be racing, right?
Exactly. Well, either way, you did some good racing out here tonight, and we'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. See you guys.
That is your pro class winner here in the GT3 side of it. Ricky Renner in at the number 53. Noah Marco Chacon, he was the Chris Burrell Hard Charger Sandbagger Award winner here tonight, but not available for an interview here tonight. So that is going to do it for our interviews. Again, I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. Do want to give a shout out to our sponsors here for the series, as today's race coverage was brought to you by Chandelure Leather, heritage quality goods handcrafted on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Every watch, clutch, and custom piece is built with purpose, made to wear in, not out, and crafted to carry your own story for years to come. From everyday essentials to small batch, limited run builds, Chandelure Leather delivers timeless craftsmanship you can feel. Find your next lifelong companion at chandelureleather.com. I want to thank our other sponsors, Ace Motorsports, Digital Sim Sports, and Martin PC, and as well as 4D Racewear for everything that they do. It's been a fun ride so far this season, and I mean it's been kind of crazy, the size of the fields here, and not too much craziness, all things considered. But excuse me, the rest of the schedule could get a little bit hairy as of yet, because we still got some good looking tracks coming up. Spa next week, but it's in the rain. And then we head to Road Atlanta, Nürburgring, and Detroit and Road America round out the schedule. But you're going to have to keep it tuned in to CRN to see that. Tune in tomorrow night for our doubleheader with VVR and Core GT Series. But for myself and Jimmy from the WeatherTech Laguna Seca, we'll see you at the track.